Fox News reportedly has a dossier of alleged dirt, aka an Oppo file, on Tucker Carlson amid their messy separation from the recently ousted host, as speculation runs rampant about what exactly led to Carlson's abrupt exit. Meanwhile, Fox itself is basically acting like Carlson, who was until 2 days ago one of their biggest stars, never even existed. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Something really big happens that involves Fox News, the last people to hear about it are usually the people who watch Fox News. The network tends to hide news about itself from its own viewers. Last night, there were probably a bunch of 80-year-olds watching substitute host Brian Kilmeade saying, "Tucker looks different now. He must have got that eye shrinking surgery. How much do you want us to take him in? I don't know, a foot?" Take, for example, Fox's decision last week to settle the Dominion defamation lawsuit for a whopping $787 million. Sorry, $787.5 million. And real quick, why isn't it a round number? Why did they have to 0.5 such a large amount of money? What happened? Did Dominion say, "We want $788 million"? And then Rupert Murdoch said, "It'll be a cool day in hell before I give you 788. And they said, "All right, how about 787.5? And he said, "Oh, that's more than fair." "Oh, yeah, we can make that work. Nice doing business with you." Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. When Fox settled with Dominion, the network's anchors barely even mentioned the news on air, despite the fact that it was one of the biggest media scandals in recent history. And even when they did mention the story, they rarely went into specifics, like when Fox personality Howard Kurtz declined to say the amount Fox had agreed to pay, despite the fact the lawyers for Dominion had already publicly announced the exact number.
Dominion had sued Fox, charging that the network damaged its reputation by reporting on false claims that its machines were somehow stealing votes from Donald Trump and flipping them to Joe Biden, citing internal messages that key figures at Fox did not believe those conspiracy theories. Fox said in a statement, "We are pleased to have reached a settlement of our dispute with Dominion Voting Systems. We acknowledge the court's rulings, finding certain claims about Dominion to be false. This settlement reflects Fox's continued commitment to the highest journalistic standards." A Dominion lawyer gave reporters a dollar figure for the segment, but I have not been able to independently confirm that.
You can't independently confirm it? I don't know, maybe ask around. You work there. Open your door, just yell down the hallway, or do a little investigating. Like in the cafeteria, is the coffee that was free last week now $787 million? Sorry, 787. Oh, anybody got 0.5? So Fox viewers have heard very little from the alleged news network they watch about one of the biggest media scandals in recent memory. And the same thing happened with the shocking ouster of their top-rated host, Tucker Carlson, seen here realizing he just got fired or just being stoned off his ass looking at a Magic Eye poster. Fox read one vague statement about Tucker's departure from the network during the day, and then when Tucker's old time slot rolled around at 8 p.m., this is the only thing fill-in host Brian Kilmeade said about the situation.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Fox News Tonight. I am Brian Kilmeade. As you probably have heard, Fox News and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. I wish Tucker the best. I'm great friends with Tucker and always will be. But right now, it's time for Fox News Tonight, so let's get started.
Man, when Fox cuts ties with someone, they cut ties. That's the Fox News version of rolling up someone in a carpet and throwing them in the East River. Even the mafia's like, "Oh, not even some cake in the break room." Show the man some respect. Tucker was their top-rated host, their biggest star, and now they're acting like he never existed. His picture was plastered on the Fox News headquarters right across the street from here. I walked by today, it was an ad for Dr. Zizmore. Fox host Sean Hannity basically did the same thing during a segment about ex-CNN anchor Don Lemon. As his audience was cheering Lemon's ouster, Hannity briefly mentioned Tucker, but all he said was this.
You know, we're not talking about Tucker. I don't really have any details on it, but he had a massive audience and has a huge following. This guy had nobody.
Yeah, Tucker has a huge following among racist lunatics and people who also want to the green M&M. And you don't have any details on it? His show was on right before yours. You chatted with, you texted with him. Is it possible they just didn't tell Hannity the truth? You know, the way you lie to a 5-year-old when their goldfish dies? I don't have any details about Tucker. All I know is he went to host a show on a farm upstate with a bunch of other racists. And I hear he's real happy. This is just a guess, but I feel like they probably do know why Tucker got fired, and they've expressly been told to keep it to themselves. I have no idea why he got fired. Fox had no problem with his cruelty, racism, and paranoid conspiracy theories, so I doubt he got fired for that. I mean, firing Tucker for racism now, after tolerating it for so long, would be like canceling Sesame Street because you just found out they were puppets. I'm serious, dude. I looked in Oscar's trash can. There's a dude in there. If this gets out, we're It would also be weird. It would also be weird. It would also be weird if he got fired for being obsessed with incredibly weird, because that's also been his thing forever, whether it was sexy candy or eating bugs or, this is real, testicle tanning.
One of the biggest stories of our lifetimes is the total collapse in testosterone levels in American men.
If you want to optimize and take it to another level, expose yourself to red light therapy.
Yes.
And the Juve that we were using in the documentary, there's a massive amount
Which is testicle tanning.
It's testicle tanning, but it's also full body red light therapy, which has massive amount of benefits. And there's so much data out there that isn't being picked up on or covered.
So obviously half the viewers right now are like, what? That's testicle tanning? That's crazy. But my view is, okay, testosterone levels like crash and nobody says anything about it. That's crazy. So why is it crazy to seek solutions?
Well, the good news, Tucker, is now you have plenty of time to pursue that. You know, just grab a book, head to the beach, unzip your khakis, pull them out, and enjoy all that newfound testosterone. By the way, what's crazier, that Fox News abruptly parted ways with their top-rated anchor, or that their top-rated anchor did an entire special report on exposing your balls to red light therapy to increase your sperm count, and they were just fine with it? Also, I don't need some fancy red light machine. Just dip your dong in a toaster, or hell, stuff your junk in a microwave, put it on defrost. Save your money. Also, I love that even the dude who's pushing this theory knows it's better to call it red light therapy, but Tucker just jumps right in to make it clear what we're talking about. What's interesting about red light therapy? Testicle tanning? Is that the testicle tanning? Because all my questions are about testicle tanning. Yeah, it's your whole body. Yeah, but it also does the testicle? Also, I'm no testicle expert. Sal's words. Let me just say. This is the fourth time today I've read this, and it's the first time I've realized I'm just going like, also, I'm no testicle expert. If there's one thing I know. Also, you guys, I'm definitely going to be doing one of those weird daytime ads like at CNN where it's just like 30 years from now, an old Seth Meyers is going to be like, I'm no testicle expert. But I know when something's wrong. Also, you guys, I'm no testicle expert, but does red light actually make your sperm count go up? Is that what happened to Kramer in that episode about the chicken restaurant? Did you hear? Did you hear? Kramer's tanning his testicles. Well, Putty's tanning too. Putty's a tanner, Kramer's a tanner, everybody's a tanner. That's it, Jerry. I'm tanning now too. Why tan your testicles? You're already nuts. Dear Diary, it went great. Now, there's obviously been a lot of speculation over what exactly happened here, given that Tucker was such a dominant presence at the network. Tucker himself was reportedly blindsided by the news and informed of the decision just minutes before it was made public. The Wall Street Journal reported that Tucker Carlson's vulgar, offensive messages about his colleagues helped seal his fate at Fox News. Fox couldn't have cared less when Tucker was saying vulgar, offensive stuff on television about other people, but when he said it in private about Fox News executives, they were suddenly outraged. It's like when you go see a stand-up comic who spends the entire hour roasting people in the crowd, and you laugh and laugh until he points at you and says, hey, check out this idiot. Looks like he stuck his face in the testicle tanner. And then you're like, whoa, that's not fair. It's called red light therapy. I heard about it on the news. But Fox News is apparently prepared for the possibility that they might one day have to part ways with Tucker, because yesterday, Rolling Stone reported this truly insane story. Fox News executives have in their possession a dossier of alleged dirt on Tucker Carlson should he attack the network in the wake of his departure. According to one former on-air Fox personality, the anchor and some of the channel's top executives are parting ways on the worst and messiest possible terms. Fox has reportedly assembled damaging information about Carlson. One source with knowledge calls it an Oppo file. Two sources add that Fox is prepared to disclose some of its contents if execs expect that Carlson is coming after the network. Holy his own employer was collecting dirt on him. I mean, I can't imagine if NBC ever did that to me. Hey, Myers, you better watch out. We got a picture of you in a chicken suit next to Donald Trump, and we're gonna send it to Page 6. Well, too bad, fellas, that was already on TV. Simpler times, you guys. Simpler times. Tell you this, though. If I ever find the guy who wrote that sketch, it was me? Also, if you're an employer collecting dirt on an employee, but you're not doing anything about it unless you need it for revenge, that speaks badly of them and of you. That's not how HR is supposed to work. When we did our HR training here at Late Night, I don't remember anyone saying, and just remember, we'll be keeping a blackmail file on all of you. This is the state of the MAGA movement. It's an abject failure, and now they're all devouring each other. They were at each other's throats after losing in 2018, 2020, and 2022. They're bickering and fighting with each other in Congress, and now their leading propaganda network is navigating a messy split from their former leading host. After all these years, I think we deserve to just sit back and watch these people kick each other in the
testicle.
This has been a closer look.